Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already we're live, and as you guys can tell by title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working with DSA, which stands for Data Structures and Algorithms. And yeah, many of you guys actually, when I like started my Python for 100 series, so many of you guys really told me to give DSA a try. I was like, I'll eventually give it a try, and guys, I think it's finally time. That said, in the DSA section, I'm going to be working with arrays here. So let's go to my gameplay screen. There we go. And yo, Harry Pixel, appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, and guys, one thing today, I think my wait, is it just me or is my light not as bright? Hold up. There we go. Okay, that should make it brighter. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think that's perfect. I am still gonna go with the configure video. Okay, you know what? I think we're good. I think we're good. That said, this is a brand new chat as well of Claude. So let's say something like since I am live exclamation. And in case you guys can't tell from my voice, I just woke up. Okay, let's see. Activate teaching, let's go. Welcome back, yada yada. The rules, say it back to me. I don't care if it's a one-liner, I don't care if you think you know what it does, I don't care if the viewers tell you that it's fine. You do not run any command, terminal, bash, python, anything without my approval first. Alright, here's the thing. I cannot run any command only when it comes to terminal-based stuff because you can't really undo it and all that stuff. That said, now let's talk about what's ahead. Data structures and algorithms. This isn't just a topic. This is the language that real engineers speak. Interviewers, okay, system designs, agent architecture, all of that rests on this foundation. We're starting with the basics and we're building up fast. Okay, I guess let's say I'm ready. Bro, you're going to be very successful in life. That actually means a word to me, guys. Let's let me say something like ready. Okay, let's see. And for some reason, my camera is not as bright. Wait, can I just increase the brightness here a little? I think that this is the max. Yeah, I think that's the max. You know what? I didn't want to do this, but I think I'll have to set my exposure to 5. Wait, I went 7. There we go. Now I can decrease some of the gain. Okay, and I think that should work. There we go. Your consistency is incredible, love you, bro. Honestly, that means the world to me, Spice or Spy. Guys, I cannot read right now. That's what I want to hear. Okay, lock in. Audience, yada yada. Concept first. Big O notation. I think that I've heard of this O notation in our last stream, or actually, I think that I was working with changing permissions in Bash. Last stream, I was working with terminal-based setup, which was Visual Studio setup for Python. But before that, I had another stream where I worked with, let's say, read permission, write permission, and execute permission. And I think the O notation stood for octal notation, but I think it may be different here. Oh yeah, it's definitely different here. Before we write a single data structure, you need to understand how engineers measure good quality. That measurement is called big O notation. It answers one question. How does my code slow down as data grows? We have a notation, we have a name, and we have an example. O1 is constant. Access list by index. On is a linear. Loop through a list once. On to the power of 2 is quadratic. Guys, my brain is already exploding. In case you guys didn't know, I'm awful at math. Okay, loop inside a loop. Okay, I understand the programming terms. Loop inside a loop is basically a nested loop. The smaller the big O, the better the code scales. A function that takes 1 ms on 10 items but 10,000 ms on 10,000 items, that's On. A function that stays at 1 ms no matter what. Okay, you know what? Hold on a damn minute. Let me say something like, Sensei, can you teach me this topic in detail, question mark, since I am a beginner and have never worked with this stuff. And also, I am sort of bad at math. Guys, is it weird that I look like an Asian and I'm bad at math here? Okay, let's see. I guess we're thinking. Yes, good call. This is exactly what I want you to do. Asking for help, yada yada. And don't worry about the math. Big O is not about math, it's about common sense. I'll prove it to you. What problem does Big O even solve? Imagine you have a list of names. You're looking for Vivian. Scenario A, 10 names in the list. You check each one, you find her at position 7. Fast, easy, no problem. Scenario B, 10 million names in the list. You're still checking each one by one. Big O asks, when the data gets huge, how bad does it get? That's it. That's the whole idea. No calculus, no algebra. Just, does this code survive when the data explodes? Ah, I see, I see. Think of it like a box search. You lost your keys. They're in one of these boxes. O1, constant time. You already know which box. You open it, done. Data size doesn't matter, always one step. Code example, accessing a list by index. My underscore list equals to 10, 20, 30, 40. Print my list at index of 2. Okay, it's going to be 30, right? Always one step. On linear time, you don't know which box. You open them one by one until you find the keys. 10 boxes up to 10 steps. 10,000, 1,000 boxes up to 1,000 steps. Steps grow with the data. Oh, okay, you know what? I think I see. Okay, code example, searching a list by one. For item in my list touches every item once. Print item. On to the power of 2 quadratic time. For every box you open, you also open every other box again. Wait, is it what basic AIs do? They like read, let's say, the first message, reply, and then I send them a second message. They go over the first message, the second message, and then our message. Is it something like that? Okay, this gets painful fast. Code example, a loop inside a loop. For I in my underscore list, for j in my underscore list, print I, j. The visual size versus step. Let me show you what happens as your data grows. 10 items, one step. Okay, O1 is going to be one step. On is going to be 10 step. On to the power of 2 is going to be 100 steps because 10 times 10 is 100. And then 100 items. O1 is again one step. On is 100 steps. On to the power of 2 is 10,000 steps. So wait, is my data size the n here? And then 1,000 items, one step. And then On is 1,000 steps. On to the power of 2 is 1 million steps. See how On to the power of 2 explodes? That's why engineers care about this. It does make sense. The only rule you need to know right now, count the loops. No loops, probably O1. One loop through the data, On. Inside a loop is On to the power of 2. That's it for 90% of beginner problems. That rule works every time. Now let's tie it back to question 1. In linear search, you're looking for a target in a list. You check each item one by one. If the list has 5 items, up to 5 checks. If the list has 5,000 items, up to 5,000 checks. One loop, step grows with data. That's On. Linear time. That's where the name linear search comes from. The step grows linearly with size. Okay, ready now. You don't need to memorize formulas. You just need to ask yourself, how many times does my code touch the data as the list gets bigger? Alright, I guess I'll go back to question 1 now. There we go. Question mark, the linear search. I think I got a basic grasp of this stuff. So there we go. It's right there. Okay, perfect. Wait, am I missing something here? I was just checking my chat because I was like, something feels wrong in my chat. Now mind. Okay, question 1. Write a Python function for a target value inside a list and return its index if not found. Since we're going to be working with some code, I'm going to go ahead and grab my Visual Studio Code, exit my settings.json, launch.json, and extensions.json, the things that I worked on last stream. And then I'm going to go ahead and create, let's say, a new file called something like practice.py. Okay, there we go. And come on, why can't I zoom in? Like, you know, before I could like extend my size here, I can't do it anymore. I think I need to open settings or something. I'll probably check that later. That said, let me actually grab Claude's instruction here. There we go. Right. Where in the world is the question? What the hell? Oh, enumerate. Wait, I haven't worked much with it. Hold on. Let me just say something like, Sensei, maybe can you guide me step by step through the first question? Also, because it's been a while since I last used enumerate. I think I used it for my Python for 100 series where I was making a game. That said, I didn't make a game using Pygame though. Speaking of which, let's see. Okay, good, that's the right thing. Asking before you're stuck, that's growth, I see it, yada yada. First, enumerate refresher. Normally when you loop through a list, you only get one value. Wait, you only get the value. Fruits equals to apple, banana, cherry. For fruit in fruit, print fruit. But in linear search, you need to know where something is. Its index, that's what enumerate gives you. So we go with for every index and fruit in enumerate fruits. Okay, print index and print fruit. So 0 apple, 1 banana, 2 cherry. Enumerate hands you two things every loop, the position and the value. You just unpack them into two variable names, index and fruit. Okay, yeah, I did work with enumerate before. I just needed a quick little refresher. I think I got it. Do you use subscription for Claude? Actually, no. I am using the free Claude version. Like I'm using the latest, let's say, best free version, which is Sonnet 4.6. I mean, you guys can see it up there. I'm just working with the max efficiency level, and I keep calling this critical thinking, but I have the thinking enabled as well. That said, step one: create your file and define function signatures. In your project folder, create a file called linearsearch.py. Alright, I named it practice, but name really doesn't matter. linear underscore search. Okay, I think we got the linear search here. Next up, in your project folder, create a file. Okay, and just write this for define linear underscore search items list target index. And in case you guys don't know what we're doing here, it's called type hinting. I did work with that stuff in one of my previous streams. It's basically just us explicitly telling our compiler or the people, not our compiler, my bad, the people reading our code, what data type is my target, what data type is my items. Show me that before moving on. Okay. I guess we're gonna go here. And is there a way to open settings? Oh wait, there we go. I'm gonna go with something like a theme. There we go, settings. Now, font size, okay, defining font, autosave, files autosave, and then editor. What up guys, I wanna fix this stuff up here. There we go, zoom the font of the editor when using mouse wheel and holding control. Format on paste, there we go. Now this is what I'm talking about. Finally, I can see stuff. Okay, to begin with, I'm gonna go ahead and define a function called linear underscore search, which is there a way to close into lessons? Hold on a damn minute. Enable preview editors. I don't think I'll do that stuff. But my linear search is going to be requiring an items parameter, which is going to be a list. Oh my gosh, guys, how do you close into lessons? And then I'm going to be requiring, what was the second one called? I forgot. Target, right? Which was an integer. There we go. Guys, this is so annoying. Oh my gosh. And then I'm going to pass. Now, before we do anything else, I didn't even do anything here. Okay, is there a way to close it? Done. And I had one question. before I even write the code, my let's say editor shows me what to write, and it's sort of distracting. Okay, therefore, is there a way to disable into lessons question mark? Okay, let's see. Because guys, even when I was working with Visual Studio, Copilot used to completely give me the entire code before I really wrote my own logic. It was so distracting, so I keep disabling into lessons. Let's see. I guess I'll wait for Claude to be done thinking, and I'm gonna exit that as well. There we go. Oh wow, Claude is actually thinking. And why does it say Claude Fable 5 is currently unavailable? Hold on, two things. Thing one, you jumped ahead on me. I didn't do that, it was into lessons. Wait, thing two, disabling into lessons, go in VS Code, settings.json, add this one line. Editor.quicksuggestions false. Oh wow, JSON can get really handy, I think. What the hell? There we go. Wait, I want to save. Wait, it still does that stuff though. It still does it. Bro, which year are you in? I'm actually a freshman in college. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and paste it and say, I did not go ahead of you, but my, let's say, editor fills the code for me. I tried the JSON command, but it did not fix it. Huh, that's so annoying. Yeah, this takes like a top priority, fixing that stuff. It gets so tedious when I try working with it. I guess we're still thinking. And yeah, what I was saying, why did the Fable 5, why is it currently unavailable? I don't keep up with this stuff. Did it like get a lot of, should I say upgrades? Oh, my bad, I see what happened. That's not into lessons drop down. That's inline ghost text, different settings, quick suggestion control, yada yada. Okay, it's controlled by this. I guess we're gonna go to settings.json and we're gonna change this. Alright, perfect. I'm gonna hit Control S. Now, it still does it. Which college, may I ask? Actually not, because my college is basically my city's name. Okay, fix the settings.json too while you're at it. It still does not work. Can I just go to the VS Code settings and disable it? And guys, ignore my typos. I'm still getting used to this keyboard. You aren't in university? Actually, I'm a college student. Let's see. I guess we're still thinking. Yes, absolutely. Here's how. Okay, press Control plus comma, open settings, inline suggest, but let me see why your JSON didn't work. Show me your current JSON settings, and don't forget your code. Alright, I guess I could show my JSON settings. Whoop. What in the world did I just do? Guys, did I just mess something up? There we go. I wanted to click print. No, I wanted to copy. What the hell? Control A, Control C. There we go. What was I clicking? Okay, that is my JSON settings. Now we're gonna go with Control plus comma to open settings, and then we're gonna go to text editor. I don't see any inline here. Okay. I see features. Into lessons should be here, right? No? Okay. Alright, let's see. Okay, orange JSON. Your settings.json is perfect. JSON is valid. The settings is there. Looks correct. Yada yada. Control Shift P to reload and type. Oh, I did not try that. Okay, if it still shows after reload. Alright, let's go with Control Shift P. Wait, what the hell? Hold on. Okay, nobody's coming to your house, bro. You can flex your college. Nah, I'm good, guys. Okay, let's see. And then reload Windows. Control Shift P, and then let's go with reload. Windows. There we go. Okay, now if I'm not wrong, it should work. No, it does not. I still see it. Do you want the recommended Python extension? Do you want to install the recommended Python extension? It still shows it. Okay, can we just do it from the settings? Let's say something like it still shows the... It still shows it. Is there a way to change it from settings question mark? I know that it's possible because I once did it on my old C drive. Yeah, I changed my C drive again. Okay, that's it. Let's see. I guess we're still thinking. Guys, you know what? Sometimes I think that I should start disabling my thinking here. It gets so tedious to wait, but it gives accurate answers, so it's like a give or take bargain. Almost done, right? Oh wait, guys, I forgot it. This helps with our attention span. These days, after watching YouTube... Okay, it's here. Yes, here's the exact path. JSON settings work, but something is overriding it. It's most likely Pylon's inlay hints, a different feature. Then go to settings, then search Python inlay hints. You'll see checkboxes, inlay variable, yada yada. If you want to do it via JSON, I'm gonna try it via JSON first because, you know, it's sort of the better choice. Or should I say more convenient choice? Okay, let's go with Control Shift P, and I'm gonna go with Windows Reload. And now we're gonna type pass. It worked. No, it did not work. Damn it. Okay, you're consistent, bro. Nice. Yeah, appreciate you. When is Arpino's your name? Guys, my monitors are kept so away from me, so it's so hard to see you guys' names. I'm still waiting on your linear search. Type it in chat. Alright, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and work with what I've got today. Oh my gosh. Why in the world does it just... Let's copy it and paste it. Okay, and say it did not work. I guess I'm gonna try it with settings. So we go Python inlay hints. Let's go with control this and then Python inlay hints. Inlay hints is on. I'm gonna go with off. There we go. Okay, and then there we go. Okay, I think it's off, right? And then text editor. All right, now let's reload. I'm gonna go with Control Shift P and let's reload window. Come on, please work. It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. Yes, you're in the exact path. Yada yada. It worked. I disabled inlay hints. All right, now what's the next stuff? Yo, how you doing? I'm doing pretty nice. How are you doing, Harsher? Appreciate you joining the stream. VS Code is just trash. Maybe try out NVim. You know what? I think that I am actually gonna try different IDEs out. IDEs out as well. That's it. Let's go. See you. Well, we figured it out together. And now you know exactly where that setting lives. That's real knowledge. Yada yada. New update to your JSON since we fixed it. At these settings, it's documented properly. Okay, I mean, it's fine, it's fine. Can we work on the question now? I sent you my current code. And yeah, this is just the first question in DSA. Like what, 25 minutes in the stream, first question still? That is because I did not ever work with questions like these. From question 2, I'm going to be trying to do it on my own. Okay, yeah, it's trash, use Vim. You know what, I do agree with Visual Studio Code isn't that good, but I do think that I want to use Visual Studio more than anything else, but I will definitely try Vim. Okay, hello bro, how to make Android APK in Flutter? I actually have not worked with Flutter, but I may know, or maybe if you do join my Discord server and go to the coding helpers chat and mention, let's say, the coding helper summons, one of them may know it. If they don't really know it, then I think you should watch some YouTube videos on it. Or something like JetBrains. PyCharm isn't that bad, to be honest. That was my first ever IDE as well. No, I'm sorry, that was not your full code. You sent this. That was my full code. Type this out right now, the whole thing. Define linear for every I and item and enumerate items. If item equals to target, return 1, else return -1. Now here's the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and let's say grab Claude in my other window. Okay, just because I want to use it as a reference. There we go. And yeah, pass is just a placeholder in case you guys did not know about it. There we go. Okay, so apparently we go with something like, we define a linear function. Oh my gosh, why is this still out here? I thought that I fixed it. How do you remove this stuff? Hold on, wait, editor, preview. Did that work? Oh my, it did not work. How in the world do you remove this stuff? You know what? Maybe I think I know it. I'm gonna go with IntelliSense. How do you spell IntelliSense? Is that how we spell it? There we go. IntelliSense, and then suggestions, showcases, class suggestions. I don't want squat for suggestions here. Suggest, show colors. No, I want to see colors. Show constants. Oh god. Suggest directed. Show enum members. Yada yada. No, where is my okay. Enable project IntelliSense while code is running. Okay. Please tell me this works. Come on. It does not work. Isn't there a way to do this stuff? What the hell? I did it before. I know it's possible. Text editor, and then features. We got a terminal. IntelliSense just enabled. Enables IntelliSense. Okay. Autocomplete. We got it. I don't even need to recheck it. That's it. I'm not gonna get it again. Control-Shift-P. There is no way I'm getting that stuff again. Told you. How would the... Okay, you know what? I think Gemini is much better for this task. Let me grab Gemini up here real quick. Okay, let me say something like... So, I am working with... Okay, what's the play today? Okay, let's see. So I'm working with VS Code, this DSA, and I wanted help getting rid of my auto code complete / IntelliSense. Like when I type something, it completes the code for me, and it's sometimes wrong and distracting. Therefore, how do I disable it? Okay, let's see, how do I disable that stuff? I feel that main method 1, open settings, and then go with something like quick suggestions. Okay, settings.json. Alright, we need quick suggestions. I haven't tried that. Quick suggestions here. I mean, it's off. They're all off. Okay, when trigger character controls whether a suggestion is selected when the... Okay, let's go with never. Will this work? Will this work? Okay, please tell me it's gonna work. It keeps showing the code. I'm gonna just take a quick little picture. Oh god, I kind of messed this up, didn't I? Okay, the quick suggestion did not work. Guys, this is how the stream is gonna go. What the hell? Sensei, the quick suggestion did not work. Should I refresh VS Code question mark? I may need to. Oh, of course. You know what? Why didn't I think of this before? I still see it. What am I doing wrong? I still see it. Guys, wasn't Gemini supposed to be the GOAT here? Claude is good with programming stuff. Gemini should be good in everything else. Let's show it my settings.json. And then I'm gonna paste it. I see your exact configuration. It's crystal clear. You're writing Python using WSL, Ubuntu, and right now your setting file is completely missing the code rules. Oh, whoa. Interesting. Control A and paste this instead. No. I'm working with DSA. Editor tab completion, into lesson. You know what? Fine. What's the worst that can happen? There. Now we're gonna go with Control S and then let's try pass. It still works. Guys, I'm gonna crash out here. Okay, let me see. What is wrong here? It still doesn't work. It's still... Save the file. Oh wait, I forgot to reload Windows. Hold on a damn minute. Control S, and then let's go with Control Shift P, reload window. Please. Did it work? It still did not work. It still didn't work. What in the actual world? It still did not work. I keep getting suggestions. Guys, do y'all know how do you get rid of these suggestions? What the hell? I may switch my IDE in this case. Image that's huge, things jump to explain, yada yada, except world. Fix 1. Right click in settings.json file, rename it to exactly settings. Fix the file name typo. Visual Studio won't read your custom settings if the file is misspelled. SETTING. It's JSON, not JSON. JSON. Oh god. Who spelled it as JASON? Okay, well I guess let's go with JSON. That is going to be JSON as well. And lastly, that's going to be JSON. Guys, can you guys believe how silly typos these are? Okay, so it's JSON. And then we're gonna hit Control S, I'm gonna hit Control S, Control S. Now, we're gonna go ahead and hit Control Shift P, reload Windows. Fingers crossed. It works. I'm not even gonna say anything, it works. I'm good, let's close this, it works. And then I'm gonna close that as well. Okay, that's it. Now let's go ahead and work on the question 1. 34 freaking minutes on stream. Can my stream ever go as planned? Okay, so firstly, we're gonna go ahead and go with a for loop. Wow. For every I and item in my enumerate en. Oh, please, there is no into lessons. Oh my gosh. I want into lessons. Bro, just my opinion, but learning DSA from AI just won't be the same as learning from a YouTube playlist. If you really want to get good at DSA, just ditch AI for this topic and use a YouTube playlist. Actually, can you DM me the YouTube playlist? I might look it off screen. Okay, let me say something like... Let me grab Gemini up here real quick. There we go. Okay, please tell me I had a chat today. I did not have a chat. Okay, wait, let me say something like, Sensei, one quick question. How do I enable into lessons, but only when I click Control plus Tab? Here's my settings.json. There we go. Guys, does this seem counterintuitive? First trying to disable it, now trying to enable it. Wait, news. Okay, that wasn't a typo. Your settings.json looks clean, professional, genuinely work on that. I still, no, wait. That slash was me having a typo, sending it to you. But what should I change on my settings dot JSON so I only get a tab that pops up with recommendations when I click Control plus space? Now here's the thing. I'm gonna hit Control Z here. Oh, you're kidding me. Doesn't work. Okay, YouTube playlist on top of the... There we go. Let me send this real quick. Okay, any YouTube playlist on the top of the search results will be good enough. Also, a disclaimer, DSA is a very, very deep rabbit hole, and on the shorter end, you will find a playlist of about 50 hours. Guys, 50 hours is sort of kind of crazy. I'm not like completely mastering this stuff here. I'm just, you know what, never mind. For DSA, I may need to master it. Okay, your settings are already perfect. Look at what you have. This means suggestions will never appear. It will still manually trigger. I see no suggestions when I press Control plus space. A window pops up saying no suggestions. Okay, even then you would need months to practice to accurately learn to use what you learned. I mean, eventually I will be working with a lot of practice projects. I'm going to get more practice there as well. Okay, let's see. Guys, this is why I sort of prefer Gemini with these tedious chores and not Claude. Quick fix, change this. Okay, so editor.word base suggestion to current document. Okay, so editor.word based suggestions. Let's go with word based suggestions to, let's say, document suggestions. Control S. Now we're gonna go with something like Control Shift P, reload Windows. Now, if I were to go with Shift Space, I get no suggestions, guys. Claude is awful at this. Claude is only good when it comes to programming related tasks. Okay, I still see no suggestions. Hello. I still see no suggestions. Interesting. I'm closing my thinking. Is there a way to answer now? Guys, in this case, I'm going to run out of tokens before I really work with anything. I haven't even touched about arrays yet. I should probably change the title saying that the basics of DSA. Oh my gosh, how long is this going to take? Okay, I mean, I closed thinking, so I think we should be good from our next question. I can see your file on line 2. You're midway through typing enumerate. You already know how to spell. I want to test if it works. I'm calling you out right now. No, it's not about knowing how to spell it. I want the Control plus space to work. Oh god, how dense can Claude be here? For general programming, you probably will never need more than just stack queues, linked lists, trees, etc. When you get serious like job hunting, you can expect to need even upwards of 6 to 12 months. I see. Okay, I hear you, but here's the truth. Editor.word based, only suggestion works in your file. You're on line 2, enumerate has been fully typed out, so it can suggest you where in the world has it been fully typed out. You know what, I'm done. Okay, ENUMERATE. I want to go ahead and enumerate my items. Okay, let's go with something like items, and then we're gonna go with something like if my item is equal to target, then I'm gonna go ahead and return I Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and return -1. -1 if something went wrong here, right? And I'm just gonna go ahead and copy it. You know what, fine. I think I'll humor Claude up here. Let's say, alright, I'll look that up off stream. However, here's the code. There we go. Almost with two small fixes, good effort, but look carefully at our indentation, return -1. This is inside the loop. It needs to be outside the loop, only runs after all items are checked. Now, actually, one question. So, I have worked with returning -1 on C++. It says everything went fine in the program. However, what does it mean in Python? I mean, I did return 0 and 1, not really -1, but I'm just saying. In C++, returning -1 from me means the program crashed. Okay, I meant crashed in that case because 0 is that it worked perfectly. Convention tied to exit code. In Python, it's completely different. -1 here is just a regular integer value we chose to mean. Not found. There is nothing special about it. We could return none, false, or even not found, but -1 is the industry convention for search functions because it's impossible to be a real index. List indexes or list indices start at 0. Any code that calls our function can check if result equals to -1 to know this search failed. Okay, it's the same convention used in many languages, so engineers recognize it instantly. I see. Result equal to linear search 10, 23, 5, 87, and 99. If result equals to -1, print not found, else print found at index that. So in Python, -1 just means I looked everywhere and found nothing. That's it. Now back to the code. Does your file now exactly match this? Sure, it does. Okay, for every I and for every index and item in my enumerate items, if my item equals to target, which is my integer. If my item is my target, return I, return the index, else return -1. I did not find that index. Okay, now let's go ahead and paste it. I want to sort of call my function. So close, one thing is missing. The logic is perfect, indentation is correct. Your final must look exactly like this. Time complexity 0n. That one line on the top, that's missing. Wait, do you mean the comment? You kidding me right now? Time complexity 0n. You know what, actually, I think it makes sense. Let's go with something like time complexity 0n. Wait, was it 0n or on? Oh, it's 0. I literally said 0n. I still typed on. Interesting. Okay, and why is my whatchamacallit, why is my comments colored dark green and not gray? It's sort of like gray. Tiny typo, bro. Oh my gosh. That's a 0, not the letter O. We go with the letter O. Three small things. 0, O. Letter O, not a numeric. Letter O, not number 0. Complexity, COMPLEXITY. Oh my gosh. Missing the colon after complexity, of course. Guys, why is Claude being so freaking pesky here? It's so tedious. Okay, I understand going with 0 and like, oh, they're two different things. I should probably say Claude to, whoops, to not be so, whatchamacallit, so stuck back on one thing. I won't say it. Okay, time complexity 0n. Wait, do you not know big O notation? You should ask Claude about it before you learn anything of this, or else you won't be able to tell why what you made is good or bad. Actually, the first thing that Claude did teach me in this stream, which was like in about 15ish minutes of the stream, I didn't like work with the big O notation where it was something like n pair of parentheses 0, and then there's one n to the power of n, and then something like n to the power of 2, and all those things. But I did not really understand that much, so I thought I'll work on a few practice questions to get a gist of it. Okay, that said, reward, you just earned this. That was not easy. You got indentation right, you got these zeros. You know what I really got? I really got help throughout the whole thing. Now run it, but ask me first. You know the oh my gosh. Okay, let's go ahead and say something like, I don't know, I'm just gonna go ahead and print my function, which is called something like linear underscore search, linear search, which requires items. That is going to be a list. Let's say something like 12, 33, 44, 65. And then my target is going to be an integer, which is going to be 33. Okay, and then we're going to hit Control S and let's run the code. Okay, I get 1 because I found my code. Perfect. Okay, let's paste it here and say something like, all right, it worked. And one more thing. Okay, can you like not ask me to send every single code to you unless it's a terminal based code which cannot be undone? The other transfer prompt consisted of that because I worked with bash on my terminal. However, working in an IDE and running the code is safe. And also, can you not be so, should I say perfect? No, not perfect. I forgot the correct wording for it, but I'll just send that for the time being. You won't be able to understand big O notation with questions. DSA is complex. You should ask Clade to give you simple for loops and explain big O notation. Oh, Claude. Okay, it works. Question 1 complete. Output 1 correct. Okay, yada yada. Do you just learn by using AI? Actually, for the time being, yeah, I think that's been helping me the most. By that doing it for you, actually, I think it helps me a lot. What does it mean? Is this to understand better as a wipe coder? Honestly, no. I do want to be an AI engineer, and of course, I do use AIs for like getting the tedious tasks done, like for the time being, there hasn't been anything that I did use AIs for. Besides my programming for 250 days series, I mostly use it to like learn new content and like understand the contents, because chatbots is like, let's say, a personal professor who answers all the questions, gives me, let's say, a bunch of practice and explain the concepts as well. Although everyone does have a different way that they like to learn. Let's see, on your request. Oh, and about the wipe coding, I don't really think that I'm gonna be going with wipe coding. I may have a series just to give it a try and all that stuff, but I think that I like to program the code as well. But if I do understand the code, I wouldn't mind wipe coding. That's it. On your request, partially accepted. Here's my rule. To make a fair point, running Python in VS Code is not the same as running bash commands, and that's wipe your path, okay? New rule, going forward, terminal commands always ask me. Finally, Python code in Visual Studio Code. Show me the full file before running. I don't need to approve the run. I need to see the code so I can catch bugs. That's my compromise. The code review stays because typos and logic errors are real. We just saw that. Question 2. All right, guys. How much? 15 minutes on stream and we're going with question 2? Let's see. Concept first, lists versus tuples versus sets. Okay, I'm not as big of I'm not that beginner as well, but let's read. Before the question, you need to know which data structure to pick and why. Never mind, I am a beginner. Structure, order, duplicates, mutable, access by. List is ordered, list can have duplicates, lists are mutable, lists are accessed by indexes. Never mind, I'm not a beginner, I know this stuff. Tuple is ordered, tuple can have duplicates, tuples are not mutable. Okay, mutable is basically changeable, and then accessed by index as well. Set is not ordered, sets are unordered. Sets cannot have duplicates. 2 apples in a set is going to be counted as 1 apple in the set. Sets are mutable, and sets can be accessed by value only. Okay, dictionaries are ordered. Dictionaries cannot have duplicate keys. Okay, dictionaries are mutable, and dictionaries are accessed by keys. A certain key represents a certain value. Don't fall for wipe coding. Think like this: if everyone can make an app with AI, then apps won't be valuable. What will be valuable will be people who can understand how the apps work. Actually, I think in real world, people wouldn't care much as long as they get their work done. So I think that we shouldn't really try pushing ourselves away from the new technology and all that stuff, because let's be honest, if I'm really good at programming, I will definitely be better than, let's say, when AIs program, because I could critically think, but AIs cannot really critically think. In the other hand, if I'm not that big of a genius and that AIs can do exactly what I could do myself, I would rather go with an AI doing it. It would save time and it would be more accurate than me as well. But that really depends on preferences as well. I don't like the idea of wipe coding, but I don't hate it either. That said, question 2. Count unique items task. Write a Python function that takes a list of integers and runs how many unique values it contains. Requirements: function name, count underscore unique, parameter, item, list, return type hint is an integer. Wait, write a Python function that takes a list of integers and returns how many unique values it contains. Oh, I see. Okay, no imports allowed. Add a big O comment above the function. Expected output, count unique, 4, okay. Hence, converting a list to a set automatically removes duplicates. Lang works on sets. This is simpler than question 1. Okay, 1 or 2 lines inside the function. You know what, I think I got this. Shouldn't be that hard. I'm gonna get the instructions in the other window. And I'm pretty sure this is ON notation, right? Okay, so it says to create a function called count underscore unique. So let's define a function called count underscore unique, which is going to be requiring a parameter of, let's say, items. Items is going to be a list. Okay, and then now inside my list, excuse me guys, the return type is going to be an integer. Okay, so I'm going to add an arrow mark operator and go with something like integer. Yeah, in case you guys don't really know this, is this called the know the syntax here? I'm using type hinting. I had a whole stream in this part. This is just for, let's say, people when they're reading someone else's code to really understand what data type are the parameters, what is the return type. That said, return type integer, use a set internally, no imports allowed. Okay, what does it mean by use a set internally? So you're solving questions. Where do you get them? Even I need to practice. I suck at DSA. Actually, I basically get my questions from Claude. And yeah, I sort of forgot to use Claude at its thinking as well, but I use it as I use Claude with its max efficiency level. So let me say something. Let's say I may be, let's go with something like, I may be stuck here. Can I get some help with the maybe, because I feel like the instructions were not as clear. I had a hard time understanding it. Yeah, I'm just making an excuse out there. I sort of understood what we gotta do, just couldn't phrase it. It's a syntactual error. It's not even a logic one. Of course, let's break it down, and good job adding the return hint. What is this foundation actually doing? You have a list with duplicates 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. You want to know how many unique numbers are in there. Oh, I see. I just got to iterate over my sets. The answer is 4 because the unique value is 4. I got it. Okay, I just needed to understand what we really had to do there. So to do this, we can go ahead and create a set called, let's say, something like items. No, items day list. So parameters is list, return type is an integer, must use set internally. So let's go with something like nums equals to set, right? Right. Or I could go with something like a pair of parentheses, a pair of curly braces. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. And now I'm gonna go ahead and print my nums. Okay, printing my nums is just to test something out. Okay, wait, let's go ahead. What the hell? Okay, now, how did I get this? Oh my gosh, what did I just click? Insert, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna go with something like count underscore unique. Why in the world does it require a list of items? I don't know. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have 4 unique numbers. I was going correct. Okay, if you're doing DSA, why are you using Claude for questions? Why not LeetCode? Actually, because I feel like I've been using Claude for a long time and I do understand the concepts much better, but I definitely need to try LeetCode. Okay, what he said, read my last message to Viv. Oh, someone who knows how to code can make a better app with AI than someone who can code. That actually does make sense, guys. That's the reason I am actually working on programming here. But I wouldn't be 100. Okay, you know what? Now, I can't even argue with that stuff. Okay. Also, why Python? Because I am currently under a series called AI Engineering for 365 Days, where my goal by the end of this series is to make an agentic AI, whether it be me training a model from scratch or, let's say, using LLMs to get the job done. I did generate a roadmap which requires me to, let's say, use Python. I'm glad I did have some prior Python experience, but it's really detailed and there are a bunch of phases as well, which I am currently following. For the time being, I'm, let's say, in the second last topic of my phase 1. And if you guys do want access to my roadmap as well, you guys can get it through my Discord server. You guys could either go to the Coding Helps chat or the Pythons chat, mention my name there at VivUniverse, asking me for the roadmap. I will be personally DMing you guys the roadmap. The link is going to be the description, the link is going to be the bio, and you guys can get access to my Discord by typing !Discord on chat, all lowercase, no space. Oh god, that was an awful shameless plug. That said, I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and get a quick little reviewer on the question. Okay, so the set trick, remember the table, sets cannot have duplicates, so if you pour a list into a set, duplicates vanish automatically. My list is going to be 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. My set is going to be set my list. Print my set. And then we just get the len. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay, let's go with something like my list that is going to be equal to, let's say, why do I have items? I think this is supposed to be items, right? Nope. I require a list as a parameter. Okay, so we have my list, the set trick. I think this is supposed to be items. I got it. There we go. Okay, at the end of this topic, go to LeetCode and try to solve at least the first few questions without Claude. If you can solve it, redo the essay. That actually does make sense. I was going to be having a mini series later on trying to solving LeetCode, but I may have it indented in this series because I do want to give LeetCode a try, but I did not make an account yet. That said, I got my list, and then let's go with something like my set is going to be equal to set. I want to set my list. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and print the length of my set. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and say something like 4, perfect. Okay, now we're gonna go with something like count underscore unique, UNIQUE, which is gonna be having a few parameters. I'm gonna be having a list of 1 to 2, and then we're gonna go with 3 to 3, and then we're gonna go with 4. I'm gonna go with another count underscore unique, okay, which is gonna be having something like 2 to 2, 3 to 3. Oh my gosh, gonna be having 2 to 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it's gonna be 5, 6. Okay, so 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, did I add space here? Oh my gosh, guys, this is why I don't like typing fast. It takes so much longer to make it look good. We have 6, 7, 7, and a space. All right, we're good. Now let's go with something like Control S and let's run the code. Okay, so wow, cannot use list as a set element. Unhashable type list. Interesting. Line 4, set my list. Wait, isn't this like what we had to do? Print the length of my set. Bro, where do you get the roadmap to becoming an AI engineer? Did you also use code to generate one? Tell me what skills you should learn. Actually, I did ask Claude to generate me a roadmap, but it is really, really detailed. I can actually show you guys real quick on stream. So this is the roadmap that I am currently following. It is sort of lengthy, but I think that it's really worth it to like learn these concepts as well, because it wouldn't really be as beneficial if it was like a small roadmap. That said, I've got a phase 1, which is like the bedrock phase, where I did work a lot with advanced Python. I worked with decorators, generators, context managers, async IO, and async/await patterns. I worked with type hinting, Pydantic, virtual environments, and then developer tooling, which I was done with last stream. That had a bunch of concepts, Git and GitHub workflows, Linux CLI basics, and all those good stuff. Okay, and now today I'm working with my first ever DSA topic, data structures and algorithms, where I was supposed to be working with arrays, but apparently I had to work with something even more beginner level. That's it. Iterate over the items, put them in a set. It'll have the same time complexity. Oh, I see. Indian, my savior, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and exit this. And yeah, if you guys do want access to that roadmap again, you guys can ask me in my Discord server. You guys can get access to my Discord by typing !Discord on chat. Matter of fact, let me type it for you guys. There we go. Could be like a forceful self-promo, but that's alright. Okay, so I want to just go with something like the length of my set. I did print it though, right? Items is already a list. My list is going to be items. Control S, Control Alt 10. I forgot you can't use Control Alt 10. Perfect. 4 and 6. 4 unique, 6 unique. Alright, we're good. I'm gonna grab Claude up here real quick. And then let's paste it. So close, 2 small things, 1 unnecessary line. This line is doing nothing useful. This is just copies the variable. Okay, my set. Alright, okay. Second, print versus return. This is a big one. There's a difference between print and return. Print just displays the value. The function gives nothing back. Return hands the value back to whoever called the function. Right now you have this. Okay, corrected one is return. I just wanted to see if it works. Notice print moves outside. It's fine. Okay, I mean, I was just seeing if the logic here works. Which I of course know that it would work, but that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this, my lists, and we're gonna be having items here. Because items is already a list. And then we're gonna go with something like a print, and then let's close the print, and then let's go with another print, and let's close the print. Now let's run it. Well, okay, syntax error, invalid syntax. Did you mean return? Of course it's my typo. Okay, we're gonna get 4 and 6. Perfect. Let's go ahead and copy that. And that is O, and wait, I may need a better explanation. Okay, let's say something like sensei, it works. However, for this specific topic, I believe that doing a few questions will definitely help. However, I still, you know what, let's go with something fancy. I am yet to understand what, let's say something like, what does the big O notation actually do? Like, we are working with Python right now. How do I know what to use when, and that am I even using the big O notation? If that made any sense. Oh wow, guys, I had so less typos here. What the hell? Question to complete. Perfect code. Output is correct. Clean, no unnecessary lines. Proper return. Your big O question. This is exactly the right thing to ask. It made complete sense. Let me break it down. Am I even using big O notation? No, and that's normal. Big O notation is not something you write in your code. It's something you use to think about your code. It's like a measuring tape. You don't attach the measuring tape to the wall permanently. You use it to make a decision, then put it away. How do I know what to use and when? Here's the practical version. Ask yourself one question every time you write code. What happens to my code when the DSA gets 10 times bigger? Let me show you what we built so far. Linear search, a big O with N. Hey, what are you doing right now? Actually, for this stream, I am working with data structures and algorithms where I think I'm starting to understand what DSA really means here. Okay, for every an item in enumerate items. Enumerate, by the way, gives me access to the index representing, let's say, a value. If item equals to target, I'm going to return I, which is my index here, or my enumerate. Count unique, O(n). 10 times set conversion touches each item once. 1000 times still touches each item once. Step grows with data, but only once. No loops inside the loop. My set equals to set items, return length, my set. Both are O(n), but here's the key insight. The real power of big O choosing your structure. The power of big O choosing your structure. Remember the table from earlier? Checking if a value exists. Use a list on O(n). Checks every item one by one. For 42 in 1, 2, 3, 42, 5, print found. Okay. Use a set O(1). Instant lookup, no loop needed. For 42 in this list, print found. In the set, I mean, not list. Same result, but one is O(n) and one is O(1). With 1 million items, that difference is enormous. Big O tells you which tool to pick before you write the algorithm. Oh, I see. The simple mental model, just count loops. No loops, 0, 1, return items. One loop for item in items, print item. Loop inside a loop to the power of 2. Oh, so that is a nested loop. That is a regular loop. That is no loop. 0, 1 is no loop. 0n is one loop. 0n to the power of 2 is a nested loop. So it actually searches in set, right? So 0, 1. Wait, so it actually searches in set, right? So 0, 1. Actually, I think that's what it really meant here. So I think that there's no need to search anything in a set because if it does exist in a set, it instantly says found. As opposed to if it says, I mean, as opposed to a list where it needs to iterate over every single thing in it. Okay, that's it. And guys, I'm not really that good with this part yet, but I think I'm getting a gist of it. That's 90% of what you need right now. You will develop a feel for it. Okay, right now Big O feels abstract because you haven't hit a big problem where the wrong choice makes things slow. That's coming as we go deeper into DSA. You'll write something that works fine on 10 items and falls apart on 10,000 items, and that's when Big O clicks permanently. Okay, for now, just ask yourself after every function, how many times does this touch the data? You know what I think I see? I think I got it, guys. Concept for stacks. Wow, a new concept. Okay, so our concept is called stacks. What are you studying actually? Does that mean like what I'm working on my stream or what I'm studying for my college? Because both kind of eventually will collide. For the time being, in my college, I'm an absolute beginner because I still am a freshman. But I do work at home a lot on programming, so I would say that I'm approaching the intermediate level of programming, let's say off college, but on college, I'm an absolute beginner there. I just took one basic Python course, got an A by the way. Okay, so a stack is a data structure that follows one rule. College. I want to go for AI engineering. That's it. But I think that I may go for computer science. But actually, you know what? No, man, I'm going for AI engineering. Okay, a stack is a data structure that follows one rule. Last in, first out. LIFO. So, LIFO, last in, first out. Think of a stack of plates. You add a plate to the top. You remove a plate from the top. You can never grab from the middle or the bottom because the plates would fall. In Python, we use a list to build a stack. Operation method, big O. Add to the top, append. So O1. Remove from the top, dot pop. O1. Look at the top. At index of -1. Wait, does the top mean the last letter or the last element in our index? Because that's what -1 actually does. O1, okay, and check if empty length equals to 0 or 1. World uses undo / redo in Visual Studio Code. Browser back button, function call tracking in Python itself. Question 3, build a stack class. Okay, I guess we're working with some object-oriented programming. Oh no, what's up, Hyper? Actually, it's been a while since I've seen you in the stream. How you doing? You forgot me, Viv, did you? Actually, I did not. I do remember the name of the profile. That said, build a stack class in Python that works like a real stack. Requirements, class name is going to be stack. Must have these methods. Hello, you're hiding, bro. I appreciate you joining the stream. And guys, it's sort of strange how I remember almost every one of you guys. Can you guess what the big O to check the size of the stack? Can you guess is the big O? Can you guess what is the big O to check the size of the stack? I think it's, I don't know, if I were to guess, I'd go with O1, but I still need to understand that stuff. My question, did you have the same question as, can you guess what is the big O to check the size of the stack? That's it, so we're going to create a class name called stack, must have these methods, push item, okay, pop, removes. I know. Peek, I've never worked with that method, returns. The top is empty, I've worked with that size, I've worked with that expected output, yada yada. Say something like, wait, dot. So, do you think that it would be helpful for me to understand this concept if I added comments saying which N, or was it O1 or something like that is the code that goes below it? Question mark. Guys, how in the actual world do you phrase this stuff? Oh my gosh. You're finally learning AI engineering like you said a year ago. Let's go, let's go. Okay, please tell me. What's your question, Roy? Okay, let's see. Yes, absolutely. Great instinct. That is exactly what senior engineers do when they're learning new concepts. You're not just writing code, you're documenting your thinking. And look, you came up with the idea yourself, blah, blah, blah. Here's what it looks like in practice. Okay, so O1, creating an empty file, no looping. Okay, self.items equals to an empty list. Define push, self.item. Wait, is speak a method or is speak just... Oh, it is a method. Okay, self.items are append. Okay, and then O1, removing. Okay, so there is nothing that I need here. Your rule going forward, every method gets a big O comment that says what the complexity is. Why in plain English. Now go build that stack. Alright, I guess I'm going to get the instructions in the other window. I need a roadmap for artificial intelligence. I'm also from computer science engineer. Actually, if you guys do want the roadmap that I am currently using for my AI engineering for 365 days series, you guys can join my Discord server and either go to the coding helps us chat or the Python helps us chat mentioning my name there at VivUniverse, asking me for the roadmap. I will be personally DMing you guys the roadmap after the stream though. You guys can get access to my Discord server through the link in the description, through my bio, or by typing !Discord on chat. No space or lowercase. A link should pop up within 3 to 4 seconds. That said, we're gonna go ahead and delete this. My question is, array can store multiple data store in sequence, yes or no? Wait, my question is array can store multiple data store in sequence, yes or no? Array actually works exactly the same as lists. For example, if I were to go with something like my underscore list, which is going to be equal to yada yada, let's say 1, 2, 3. This list consists of 3 items. In the other hand, an array, you just add a pair of square brackets. Hold on. Let me fact check that part real quick. I'm going to go ahead and not grab Claude, but I will be grabbing Gemini here. Okay. Because it's kind of strange. I should have actually worked with arrays more than what I'm working with right now, but apparently I was an even bigger beginner than I am currently. Okay, let's paste it here and say someone from my chat asked me this question. And guys, by short answer, yes, an array stores multiple items of data in a continuous, is that or contiguous, a contiguous, okay, back-to-back sequence in your computer's memory. Since your chat is asking, here's a quick peek breakdown you can give them or your own DSA context. Okay, how to explain it to your chat? Sequential indexing. Every item in an array gets a specific position number called index, okay, starting at 0, because they are in a strict sequence. If you know where the first item is, you know exactly where the rest are. Okay, so yeah, basically I think the answer is yes there. Yes, it stores sequentially in memory. You know what? I think I should like have a whole MD file for that stuff. But apparently last year when I was trying to get an MD file, I apparently whatchamacallit, my chat ran out of its time limit, but I will probably get the MD file for my Visual Studio setup that I worked on last stream, where I did mostly go over my JSON files and all the things that I could do for, let's say, setting up my Visual Studio. But I don't think that that's related to arrays. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Class stack. So apparently we're gonna go ahead and create a class. I'm gonna call it something like stack. Okay, my stacks class is going to be having a constructor, so I'm going to define dunder init, which requires self as a parameter. Okay, and then after the self, now this is where we add comments. reading the instructions as well, right here. Class name is going to be stack, must have these methods. So apparently we're going to be having a push method adds item on top of an array. Okay, so let's go ahead and define a method. Before I define a method, wait, my constructor, right? So let's add a comment that says something like O1. Okay, O1 is basically just creating an empty list. Okay, no looping. All right, just creating an empty list, no looping. So self.items equals to an empty list. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and define a method. Now this method is going to be called the push method, which is going to be requiring self as the parameter and items as a parameter. In my method, we're going to be adding a comment that's going to say this method is O1 as well, because append always adds to the end instant. Let's go with append always adds to the end. What up, guys? To the end instant. Okay, so there is no iterating going over here. Next up, we're gonna go with self.items. I wanna append something in my items. We're gonna go ahead and append our items. I think it's supposed to be item. There we go. And then we're gonna go ahead and define another method called pop. Pop requires self as a parameter, which gives it access to our items as well. Okay, and apparently our pop is supposed to be, let's say, O1 as well, because we are going to be doing no looping here. Okay, REMOVING. Here's the thing, I don't think that we can use push method and pop method inside of our class, because we already got methods of this name. I'm gonna fact check that real quick. Okay, so removing the end. Okay, let's go with something like no shifting. There we go, needed. All right, perfect. Now, this is where I'm going to be using an if statement. Still no loop, so it's going to be O1. I'm going to go with something like if myself dot is underscore empty. Then I'm going to go ahead and do something. We're going to go ahead and return something like stack is empty. Okay, and then let's go ahead and return something. Hold on a sec. There we go. I'm going to return something like self.items.pop. All right, perfect. Now, once we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and hit Control-A, Control-C, grep plot up here. There we go. Why do array indices start from 0 instead of 1? Explain with a logical reason. Because Python is 0 indexed, unlike, I think, C. No, I don't think C++, but I need to check. Let me see which language is not 0 indexed. Let's say which language is not 0 indexed. Okay, because I have only worked with Python, C++, and VLang. Okay, let's go with FoxPro. FoxPro is, let's say, 1 index, so the indices start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unlike Python, Python goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing goes with list and arrays. That's it. Was that a logical enough answer, guys? Okay, let's see. Let me paste it here and say something. I did copy your code, but I typed it manually. And basically what this meant was that I did not use loops in general, so all my methods were, let's say, O1. Okay, let me ask one more question, and one quick question. Are we allowed to use push and pop as our method names question mark? Because Python already has inbuilt method names exactly as those. Lua also starts with index 1. Oh, I see. I actually forgot. I do know sort of Lua as well because I did work a little bit with, let's say, Roblox programming. That was like 3 years ago. I did not do much with it. That's a good instinct on the question. But first, a bug. Typo caught, line 8. Parameter is items, plural, but here you used items, singular. Okay. Interesting. Items, item. Wait. That's item. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, your big O thinking is correct. Yes, no loops in any method. Everything means O1. You understood that completely on your own. That's exactly right. Well, I did get explained, but all right. Your method name question, great thinking. Yes, you're absolutely allowed to use push and pull as method names. Here's why. List.pop is a list method, belongs to list. Oh gosh, I'm an idiot. Okay. You clear this concept? Oh, that actually does sound pretty cool. That said, guys, I want to change my streams' title. I'll go with something like a big O notation instead of arrays because I have not worked with arrays in this whole entire stream. Should I change it right now or like after the stream? I might change it right now, to be honest. Okay, so I'm gonna change this to something like big O notation. Let's go with something like big O notation. Let me just ask it. Wait, what was the topic that we were working on? Question mark. Big O notation. Yes, but more specifically, random data algorithms, big O notation. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and copy that stuff. The reason I actually asked for the topic is because I'm so lazy to type it out. Excuse me, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and save changes. And now we're gonna go ahead and let's say edit our second one. That is big O notation. Let's edit that as well. And guys, magically it all changed. Our entire streams' topic changed now. Big O notation is a part of DSA. Oh, it does make sense. Because my thumbnail is general. My thumbnail says DSA. Then the title needs to be a bit more specific. Because before I made my, let's say, title and thumbnail, I did not work with this topic at all. I just started working with it on screen. Okay. Let's see. All right, now let's fix my typo real quick. I was having a typo right here. That is going to be item. Okay, now let's grab this up here, and then we're going to go ahead and paste it. And I fixed my typo. Fix my plural and singular typo. Okay, I think we're going to be good here. Typo fixed, but I need the full file. You're still missing peak is empty, test calls. Okay, I guess let's do it. Your phone number, I want to identify programming. Guys, my phone number is 1233456. That was a fake phone number, by the way. Okay, let's see. I want to identify programming. Actually, by phone number, if you meant that you wanted to contact me, you can like join my Discord server. That's where we talk to you guys and chat with you guys as well. Matter of fact, let me show it to you guys. Let me just pull it up here real quick. There we go. Okay, so if I were to grab my Discord here. So I usually firstly mention all of you guys in my announcements. And next up, we have a whole coding sus chat where you can ask our coding helper summon, for example. I think he's the coding helper summon. There we go. Yeah, and if you guys do want to see all the coding helper summons under the members section, there's like a whole section. So if someone is online, they're probably available to help and all that stuff. That said, in the general chat, besides, I think linking to stuff is important. Links are not allowed in chat. That's the reason it was capped. I need a roadmap. You guys can actually ask me for my roadmap here as well. Alongside in the Python chat, you guys can ask Python-related questions and all those things. And in the general chat, you guys can just have general conversations. That said, that was pretty much it for that. Okay, typo fixed, but I need the full code. Okay, I think let's work with the full question here. Okay, so I have my question 2 on in my other window just so I can use it as a reference. By question 2, I meant question 3. Okay, so we're done with the push method. Okay, we append stuff. We're done with the pop method. Okay, now we need a peep method. So let's go ahead and define a peek method, which returns top item without removing it if item return stack is empty. It requires self as a parameter. Now, returns the top item without removing it. So how do you peek? I'm gonna go with pass. Okay, and then let's go ahead and define another method called isEmpty that requires self as a parameter. Okay, returns true or false if my list is empty. So I'm gonna go with something like my item here as well. Okay, let's go with something like an if statement. Before I go with an if statement, I'm gonna add a comment here. This is gonna be 0, 1. I meant 01 because if does not iterate over anything. Okay, rather I'm gonna check an if statement. If my items dot is empty, and yeah, isEmpty is a listless function, empty. Okay, returns true or false. Return true. It's Python. Else I want to return false. There we go. Okay, now once we're done with that as well, we're gonna have a size returns the number of items in the stack. Okay, I'm gonna define a size method, which is gonna go ahead and have self as a parameter and items as a parameter. In my items, we're gonna say that this is gonna be 01 as well because there is no iterating going over here. It returns the size of my list. No looping. Okay, so I'm going to check something. Let's return my items, or let's return the size of my items. Is size an actual function? I think size is not a method as opposed to, can I go with size here like that? Size is not like length, right? Yeah, I think this is how we do it. Okay, dear from you. What does that mean? Okay, that's it. Let's see. Use a list internally to store each items at a big O notation, yada yada. Oh wow. We got a massive expected output here. -1. Oh wait, slicing return colon -1 for peek, I think. -1 or colon -1. Oh, I see. You know what? I think I needed that refresher. It's basically slicing, let's say -1 is gonna be my last index in my actual list here. And was I expected to get the last index? Returns the top item without removing it. I think the top item is the last index. I'm gonna go with item, right? I don't really need items here. I don't really need items there because I have access to it. Peek. Return items at index of -1. Okay. Else wait, if my items dot empty, okay, if my items is not empty, then I want to go ahead and do this. We're going to return our items at index of -1. Else, we're going to go ahead and return an F string that says something like stack is empty. There we go. Okay, the peak self method currently uses the pass statement, meaning it does nothing. A pass is like a placeholder. To function correctly as a stack operation, it should return the top item without removing a standard implementation. That does make sense. Which compiler is used? I think I'm using something like MS something. Hold up, let me check it. MYSP. Guys, I forgot my compiler. Wait. I did not specifically install a compiler. I think a compiler came with my Visual Studio Code here. That said, no, I think I am using a compiler. Hold on a damn minute. I'm gonna go with Python. Wait, I'm using an interpreter. I'm using like an interpreter because Python runs through an interpreter, not like a compiler. Okay, I'm gonna exit that real quick. Now let's see. So we're done with our is empty. We're gonna add a comment here that says O1 does not iterate over anything. Okay, if item is not this thing. All right, let's go with Control A, Control C. Think we're done. I'm gonna grab Claude up there, and then we're gonna go ahead and paste it here and say something like done. I didn't really have output. Good progress, but several bugs to fix. You're thinking in the right direction, but there are some consistent errors throughout. Let me show you all of them. Congratulations on finishing, Shell. Let's go. Okay, wait, Shell. I don't think I used Shell. I used Visual Studio's terminal, but I think it's like almost the same thing. That said, you're thinking in the right direction, but there are some consistent errors throughout. Bug 1. Item versus self.items. This is in every new method inside a class. You must use self.items to access the items, not just items. Okay. I'm still getting a refresher here. What's next? Dictionaries? Guys, dictionaries is crazy. I did work with those things. I actually do know what list and dictionaries and all that stuff does, but I'm currently working with the big O notation just to eventually in the future decide whether or not I should be using a certain kind of loop or using a different kind of loop. Because a few loops, for example, let's say O(n to the power of 2, can actually get, let's say, really massive, really quick. But in the other hand, n, I think O, a pair of parentheses, n, it takes one loop for one item inside of our list or whatever it is that we want to iterate over. I'm still understanding this concept, guys. Bug 2, stray colon and peak. Colon doesn't belong here. Did I really add a colon there? What the hell? Bug 3 is empty logic is overcomplicated. You don't need to call this empty inside this. Just checks the return length self.items equals to 0. O1, just checking length, no looping. Use NumPy for arrays is very important. I actually do have NumPys in my roadmap. I think I even have like pandas or something like that. I need to check that stuff. I keep checking my roadmap. I keep forgetting what's in it. Okay, that one line returns true or false automatically. Bug 4, size is wrong. Lists don't have a size method. Python uses the length method. Okay, you corrected file. Your corrected file should be yada yada. I was really close. I was really close out there. Not really. Okay, how in the world did I forget the self here? Self.items is empty. Okay, so we go with something like, instead of overcomplicating this, we're just gonna go ahead and return, let's see, the length of my items. Let's say length of my self.items is equal to 0. If this condition is true, it's gonna be true. If this is false, I'm gonna get false. Items done, self.items done. Peak, so far peak does not do anything. Okay, my peak is correct, just with a weird colon up there. I don't even know why did I add that stuff. Okay, so return stack is empty. If self dot is empty, Wait, when I say is empty, I'm accessing this method. If self dot is empty, we return stack is empty. Why did I add a freaking F string there, guys? Am I even focusing here? Else we're gonna return this. It's not empty. There we go. Throw exception instead of strings. Actually, I will be working with exceptions. I did work with exceptions as well, but for the time being, I'm just understanding the basics here. Later, when I am working on an actual project, which I will be working really soon on my project one, as soon as I'm done with my DSA and data wranglings, before I start with machine learning, I'm going to be having a whole project in which I'm going to build something. That's where I'm not going to be actually generally going over questions, and I'm going to be making sure there are 0 errors there. That said, we go ahead and else return self.items. Of course, there's self.items at index of -1. For pop, we check if self dot is empty. If my self is empty, return stack pop. Okay, and then append is correct, items is correct. My SS138 protocol was engineered for maximum portability, developed entirely through wise-driven architectural synthesis on standard mobile hardware. The protocol hardware AGNOSTIC Agnosysts, is that how you pronounce it? It's designed to be, guys, this is like an advertise or something. Okay, remove else, you already check it in empty. Fix the indentation. Remove the else, fix the indentation. Wait, do you mean like, oh yeah, I do check if it's an empty. But I was asked to also return, like if my stack is not empty, then I was expected to return my my top item inside of my list, or inside of my, yeah, I think it's a list. Okay, and just one small thing, because I'm lazy. Just to get the outputs out, this is a massive thing to have. So I'm just going to do this. Control S, and let's run the code. Okay, so we get 30, 21 false, 10 true, stack is empty. Stack is empty. S.pop. Pop removes everything. Okay, nope, it's my research. Last 6 months, it actually sounds really cool. Actually, I may actually read it. It is designed to be injected into any operational AI environment, instantly bypassing the need for expensive infrastructures overhauls while immediately hardening the host system's data integrity. I see. Non-cloud dependencies. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and copy this real quick. All written with Python. That actually sounds really cool, guys. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and paste it and say something like done. Is it normal to still feel a bit vague at this topic, question mark, and that I need so much more practice? Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and send it. And this might be my, this probably was my last question here. I'm gonna most likely continue next stream because I do got an exam for college Monday. Gotta study for that. Code is clean, okay. One feeling is vague. On feeling vague, listen to me, that feeling is completely normal, okay? And honestly, it means you're paying attention. Anyone who says DSA clicked immediately for them is lying, okay, I guess. You're already improving, yada yada. Paste your output. Alright, guess I'm gonna paste my output. Alright, let's go ahead and paste it here. And then let's send it. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, while Claude is replying, makes something makes sense. Say, I might call it a day here because I have, let's say, an exam this Monday and that I need to study for it. That said, can I get a transfer prompt? Okay, while Claude is actually giving me the transfer prompt, let me go to my main camera. There we go. Alright guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. I thought I'm going to be working with arrays, but I made a 360 and changed the title of my stream saying that I'm going to be working with the big O notations because I didn't really know that DSA basically meant analyzing, let's say, what type of loop should I use when, because a few loops can actually blow up our entire computer, not like in a literal sense, but in a figurative sense. That said, if you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe with notifications turned on, and also share my videos /lives/channel in general. Because like helps my algorithm sharing, makes you smile, and subscribe like a cherry on top. That said, I did start multi-streaming on Twitch and Kick, but I stopped instantly because it did reduce some of my stream quality in YouTube. So I will be finding a way where I can re-upload my streams on Twitch and Kick so I'm going to be streaming on Twitch and Kick as soon as I'm done streaming on YouTube here. So one stream encoding, and then I can use that encoded stream to stream in multiple platforms. That said, I will eventually start streaming on TikTok and Instagram as well. So if you guys really enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description. The link is going to be in the bio. And you guys can get access to any of my socials in general by typing exclamation. And the socials is named on chat, no space, all lowercase. If that social does exist, a link is going to pop up. If that social does not exist, a link will not pop up. Actually, I may have like a exclamation socials as command that does not have links, but it has the name of all the socials that I do have. That's a brilliant idea. That said, also join my Discord server. That's where I usually talk to you guys, chat with you guys, have general conversation with you guys. And if you guys do want to follow the roadmap that I am currently following for my AI engineering for 365 days series, you guys can join the Discord server, go to the Coding Helps chat, or go to the Pythons chat and mention my name there at WebUniverse, asking me for the roadmap. I will be personally DMing you guys the roadmap. You guys can get access to my Discord server through the link in the description, through my bio, or by typing exclamation Discord on chat, all lowercase, no space. And I did create two brand new channels, one called Web Works Out and the other called Web Arcade. Web Works Out is specifically meant for my working out content or my workout content, and Web Arcade is specifically meant for my gaming content. So if you guys do enjoy either one of those contents, make sure to check out those channels. The channel, you guys can get access to those channels through my homepage. So if you guys go to my homepage, scroll all the way down until you guys don't find my featured channels, both the channels are going to be featured there. That said, I changed many operating systems. I used crossover of signal processing, data as noise. Testing primary data arrays as noise allows the system to isolate the underlying. Guys, how do you pronounce that? Is it a heterodyne? Beat signals, filtering on the filtered physical reality, extracts the higher dimensional metadata systems. I see. Okay, that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace. Okay, I guess I'll end the stream now. And yeah, that is the light that I'm currently using for... I actually have two lights, and my room is pretty dark as soon as the stream is over because I do close the lights and my top light as well.